Thanks for dropping into this week's edition of Michigan Chronicle News Now. I'm digital anchor Andre Ash. Time to get a check on some of the top stories we've been working on trending on our website this week at michiganchronicle.com. Well, a Detroit man is preparing for what seems to be the fight of his life. He is heading to Ukraine to help fend off the attacks that Russia has been pending on Ukraine over the past 2 weeks. Take a look here. Dr. M. Dujan Johnson recently announced that he will be in the war fighting for Ukraine this week. The 62-year-old plans to travel to Amsterdam and then to Poland. From that location, he is traveling to Ukraine to fight in the battle to the dismay of his family. He says all of Ukraine is a war zone, so he is going there to help Ukrainians defend their homeland. Dr. Johnson, who has a military background and served with the Army, also previously spent 2 years in Ukraine working at a university. Well, the Detroit branch NAACP hosted its kickoff to the Fight for Freedom Fund dinner. It's a fundraising effort helping them on multiple fronts. The private event officially launched the return of the 67th annual Fight for Freedom Fund dinner in the spring. The gathering jumpstarts the planning and ticket purchasing process as the organization works to raise funds for its yearly operations and efforts toward community work and social justice. Mayor Duggan was even present and made the ceremonial first ticket purchase. The theme of this year's event is "Freedom is expensive, but tyranny is unaffordable." Take a look.
People are trying to steal our freedom. We're not going to let that happen. That's why on Bloody Sunday, which just occurred, you saw thousands of people crossing the Edmund Pettus Bridge in memory of that occasion in which people were beat almost to death and killed as they simply were trying to register folk today to vote. We have bills stuck in the Senate right now, the John Lewis Advanced Voting Act, the For the People Voting Rights Act. The Senate has not passed it, yet they want to pass on the progress for people in Ukraine, but they want to slow down and take back the progress of people in America. That won't work.
And the Detroit branch's 67th annual Fight for Freedom Fund dinner returns Sunday, May 1st at 5 p.m. It's returning to the newly named Huntington Place in downtown Detroit. Well, to this next story, Black developers redeveloping a historic factory in Detroit, and it is expected to create apartments, retail, and jobs. From a dilapidated building to the largest African-American-led project in the city's history, it was revealed to not only be a housing project, but a transformative initiative to create a new destination for retail. Gregory Jackson and Richard Hosey are teaming up to rehabilitate the 600,000 square foot historic building at the Fisher 21 Lofts. The $134 million project is expected to have a Detroit-based and dedicated team to hiring city workers and contractors, meaning that these lofts will not only bring quality market rate, affordable housing, but also jobs to this area. That is definitely good news for the city and for people who look like us. Get into the paper. It's time to check out some of the top stories we're working on in our newspaper edition this week of Michigan Chronicle. And joining us to talk more about that is our staff writer, Megan Kirk. Megan, you keep it warm these days because it is cold out here in the D.
It is so cold in the D, and you know who else is feeling it? Detroit residents. Yeah. DTE has gone up on their prices, leaving a lot of customers across the city kind of in peril. So in our first shared byline, myself and Sherry Collade got to discuss the cost of warmth, and we discussed it with DTE employees as well as residents who are seeing a spike in their bills.
Wow. And look, I noticed that my last bill was up. I'm like, oh, now, wait a minute, how much energy am I using? But it's reflective of the times, I'm sure, and I'm sure DTE has programs to assist residents, but I'm sure many people are feeling it.
Many people are feeling it, and DTE does have programs to assist. Some you have to qualify for low income. Others you have like a payment plan based setup. So a lot of people are turning to payment plans. However, trying to mitigate the cost, 20 to 30% increases is literally making folks feel it in the pockets when the gas prices are steadily going up as well as food. So just trying to warn our readers that these increases are coming and give them some viable options to find their way out.
Yeah, the prices on everything is definitely going up for sure. Got to check that A1 front story. Also, Donna Sumner, uh, you had a chance to check out the musical that's in town. Tell us more about that because I'm sure you had a blast.
I did. So for all those disco queens and kings out there, the Donna Summer musical is playing currently at the Fisher Theater. And I didn't know a lot about Donna Summer before having to go to the show. Like, we obviously know hot stuff. She worked hard for the money. And a lot of new artists are mimicking her style and her flair. But three African-American actresses got to play the main characters, going from young Donna through disco Donna through the end of her life Donna. So it was really amazing to get to watch these three Black women portray such a music icon.
I love it. Were you singing and dancing on your feet? Was you on your feet?
At a portion of the show, they do make you get really interactive. So you do have a chance to engage with the actors and the rest of the viewers around you. So I would have to say a good 10 out of 10. It was an amazing show, an amazing production.
I love that. You know, it's almost a little disco around here now with the lights going on and off my face. But
Don't you just love technology?
I love it, and I'm sure you had a great time at that show. So Donna Summer musical at the Fisher, and reflective of the times, even right now, working hard for that money.
Absolutely. We always get into the paper, so.
Get into the paper. I love it. Megan Kirk, our star writer here at Michigan Chronicle. You can follow our stories anytime at MichiganChronicle.com. When we come back on News Now, it's Women's History Month, and here at the Michigan Chronicle, we celebrate them like nobody else.
What's up, y'all? My name is Janae, and I was a 2016 SWAG awardee. I interned with the bank, and I am now a full-time employee at Huntington Bank. Now, the Michigan Chronicle and Huntington Bank 7th Annual SWAG Awards are back. Now, there is a lot of cash for you all to access. 15 scholarships ranging from $2,500 to $25,000, and I'm here to give you some tips. Now look, I got 3 tips for you all. Tip number 1, you want to make sure you write a compelling essay. You may be thinking, how do you do this, right? Now you do this by telling your unique story about what makes you you and how you are a leader. Now number 2, you want to make sure you get a recommendation letter from a high school coach, teacher, counselor, basically anyone that really knows you well and can tell us about how great you are as a person. Now, number 3, you want to make sure you get your transcripts in before the deadline. And this year, the SWAG Awards are allowing you to have a video recording. Now, this will allow us to see your beautiful face and, of course, get to know you a little bit better, but it is not required. Now, the deadline for the application is April 1st, so do not be late. Now, you can access the scholarship at MichiganChronicle.com/SWAG Awards. Y'all, let's get this money.
Welcome back to News Now. So if you are a high school student wanting to apply for SWAG Awards, make sure that you do apply soon. April 1st is the deadline, and that is no April Fool's joke. So go to MichiganChronicle.com/SWAG Awards. Well, next, this week we celebrated our Michigan Chronicle Women of Excellence. As a mixer, we hosted this week celebrating phenomenal women who are trailblazers in their respective roles. And we talked with some of them to get their take on what it means to be recognized and honored in this way.
To be in a room full of such amazing African-American women. All the Black girl magic is here tonight.
This is an awesome feeling. First of all, it's great to be in person, but to have such love in the room and everyone congratulating each other and just making each other feel welcome and congratulating the wealth of experiences that are in the room. It's a wonderful feeling.
Be in a room full of such powerful women.
You know, it's an amazing feeling to be surrounded by such powerful women, women who have given to their community, to their jobs, to their family. This auspicious event is just a great time. Being a Woman of Excellence honoree from 2013, I am simply honored to still be in the room 15 years later, right after, with such great women.
It is such an overwhelming experience. I lived in Detroit my entire life. I grew up reading the Chronicle in my family. My grandfather always had a Chronicle every week. And to be mentioned as one of the honorees is just so Such a dynamic experience. I'm so honored to be here and just connecting with the women and the amazing work and just understanding how these women are really just uplifting our community. It's great.
I loved each and every one of their words. Michigan Chronicle Women of Excellence. It's a sold-out event, but to be a part of the online broadcast, we'll be putting out a date and time very shortly, so please stay tuned for updates on our social media. And that's all the time for us here at Michigan Chronicle News Now. Thanks so much for watching. Until next week, stay tuned to Stories Anytime at MichiganChronicle.com and follow us on our social, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Michigan Chronicle. I'm digital anchor Andre Ash. This is News Now.